Hey, it's Bill coming at you from Santa Monica, California. It's a beautiful evening. I know it looks like from my background that it's kind of dull, but that way towards the mountains, absolutely beautiful. We had quite the day, Jack and I, and I, uh, I have lots of stories. I'm going to see how long this runs without. I think I'm missing all sorts of stuff in the middle here. I don't know. But anyway, the last one that's posted, I can run from that. And there's going to be some random ones that don't make any sense, I guarantee that, because I'm like, where did they go? By the time I figure out where they went, it could be 3 days from now. So, and when I finally figure it out, I'm not taking the time to figure out where it belongs in there. It'll just pop up. Be like, what the heck is this for? That's what it is. That's how long it takes Bill to figure out how to turn the thing back on from wherever it's hidden. It's good enough to remind me that it's there. It doesn't do a thing to tell me how to get rid of it. Every time I turn it on, which is for me often. So, okay, I'm not babbling about that. Where did we go today? Oh, okay. Yes. So we successfully managed to put back together the bike. And in doing so, we're still together here. He's only 15 feet away, so he survived. And that was very questionable at times, and I will try and go into that. Um, but it's I'm learning and he's learning, and I'm just I'm gonna go about how it was done to me. So uh, it's not meant to be cruel. It's meant to mean this is how it should be done. Our policy's been, you know, at least mine, I guess. I don't know who taught it to me, but that's how I'm going to say it to my mom and my father. Uh, Combination. At least that's the best I can come up with. My motto is any job worth doing is worth doing right. And that means picking, I told him, I said, I don't care if that's building the Empire State Building all the way down to picking up a piece of trash. I said, if you pick up the piece of trash and a half of it's broken and falls away, pick up the other half. I said, if you went to go get it, don't leave it half done. And I said, any job is worth doing right. And if you don't know how to do it, ask somebody or learn it. And if you can't get it to where you know it's as best you can do it, you don't turn it over to somebody and say you're finished with it. It's not done. And so this is the worst one we had yet. He literally got on his bike and rode away, but about 15 minutes later, he came back to tell me that he had something that he had forgotten. But, I know he wanted to talk, so we figured it out. And, but that's the hardest one. But after we got, I'm trying to figure out what I do. I know I don't do it on purpose, but I almost think it is on purpose. But I push him right to the edge, being that angry with me. I explained it to him tonight, but not now, before, that, I'm learning. I never had, I don't know. And so I told him, I don't mean to be too rough on you, but days old, and literally things that I would have been teaching a 5-year-old by now. So it's just clearly I forgot to tell you this part. I should tell you this part. This was, I forget where. This is at the end of the day. Let me think of how long ago it was. I literally think it was only like an hour ago. Maybe 2. But we sat down, and I always do at the end of the day. And we kind of go over the things that none of it bothers me. It bothers him. So I want him to understand why it bothers me. I mean, he thinks it bothers me, but I make it look like it bothers me to the extent that he thinks that it's bothering me. But all I'm doing is repeating the same thing over and over to the point where it irritates him enough. He gets it. And so anyway, we were going through all of that, and he asked me, why would I do all of this for him? I said, I told you back when we met, God knows, I don't remember the date, but it's over a year ago, closer to a year and a half ago. One night we were sitting around. I'm sure I was drinking because I only quit 4 months ago in 2 days. I forgot. 2 days ago, 4 months. Well, no, that's lying. In 2 days, I have 4 months that I've only had. Oh, I already counted them out for you guys. I gotta do it again. Oh, I remembered it's 7, and I threw about at least half away and more. So 2 more days. That'll be. And like I said, they told me in my recovery that the Vivitrol I told you about, that you don't have to. It's not like any of the others. I don't know the right way to put it. I know in like AA, it's a huge no-no to ever even touch that stuff to your lips. It's like Satan himself is going to burst right in front of you and lightning bolts flying out of your lips. And this stuff, that's what the image is. This stuff, if you have a beer, they tell you. If you want a beer, have it. Then they weren't lying. But the thing is, once you finally get clear, memory of never wanting. I mean, they literally tell you you're going to be fine. Who wants to check? I know I don't. Not for the taste of a beer. And, I told you, my neurosurgeon, I've learned why. He can't tell me to start using marijuana. He said, this is friend to friend. And I'm sure I said that when I explained it. If I didn't, I should have. But it's because there is here in California. I just learned this because a friend of mine has the card, and I asked him how to get the card because that's what I'm working on getting. And he said that I got to see a specialist, and I'm sure why that particular doctor wasn't certified for it. But now that I know, that's probably why he couldn't. And I remember him saying that. Okay, I'm babbling again. What was he talking about? Oh, fixing the bike. So, I got into the whole process. The thing was literally both tubes out of it. I think I'm into the thing for 4 tubes now. two tubes were or one was in, not in, but stuck in. I think so it wouldn't get lost. They put it through the hole in the in the rim itself, where the valve goes through. And put the cap on so that the inner tube wouldn't get lost in transport. And then the rims had no, other than that, no rubber attached to them other than the protector ring. It had I was surprised it still had the same original tires because they were perfect. Figured those things would be bald and not matching. I'm gonna start laughing again. I'm sorry, but and there's no seat. I mean, when I tell you what it was and what it is. What it was and what they gave me back is nowhere near what I had said. Okay, girl, I told you what happened. It was my mistake. And my friend had given me the bike and had it tuned up for me with a friend of his. So it means a lot to me, and it's so fortunate that I got it back. I have it back now. Very well modified. And this is part of this story. But anyway, so now we finally this morning had all of the parts and pieces all in one spot. Well, I shouldn't say we had enough that I was willing to get into it. I don't like to get started and halfway through unless I didn't see something that I know is right around the corner that I can go and get. So we're that close. This is literally at like 7:30, 8. No, I'm sorry, that's a lie. It's probably more like 9:30 because we got a late start. So he's over there laughing. So we start heading off, and is this first set of this the last video that I have on here is the set of stairs that I stop at to rest in the morning because up until now I didn't have a bike, and my backpack weighs literally like right under 50 pounds total. With everything, it's probably over now that I look around. I try and put it in different hands and everything else, but if I put everything I carry on me and put it on a scale, I'm sure it's well over 50. Excuse me, I got a bug crawling up my butt crack. Okay. So, anyway, so I obviously am not upset. But again, I go through the whole process with them about the steps that we got to go through. And I know that the last one had the basic concepts of it, but now that we're headed to the church, we get there. There's this guy sitting at the stairs that I usually sit on, and it's a particular person that lived where I used to live, and we didn't get along then. And I've been trying to get along, but there's a fine line between trying to get along and threatening my life, which is what he did. And I have witnesses. So, that's another issue. Doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm not going to put myself or him in. Yeah, I'm not looking for the problem. So I moved over to a different tree, and everybody was looking for, not everybody, I had 3 or 4 people that were trying to find me. And they couldn't see me because they're used to seeing me on the stairs. You can see it from all the way down the road. And where I tucked in, I'm gone. So they find Why am I telling you this? What's it got to do with this bike being assembled? I don't know why. I'm going back to the bike problem. And okay, so he's still trying to put the tube in, to mount the tire, all that stuff. And he's still worried about, he keeps saying the tool. And I'm thinking the tool to put the, the wrench, not a wrench, it's a little flat bar that you use to squeak the tire onto the rim. I don't know what they're called, I just know how to use them. And he keeps saying the tool, and I'm like, what? And finally I said, what the tool are you talking about? And he says, the wrench to put it on. I'm, again, 8 years old. So, you finally figure out what he means. And I said, don't worry about that. And that's when we get into that conversation about worry about one problem at a time. I said, you're thinking way ahead of your capacities right now. I said, let's do one problem at a time. So, I get him so that all he's worried about is getting the tube. I told him exactly how to do it. I can explain it, but it's not important. Well, I guess it is important because I told him. So I broke it all down, all the way, not all of it. I broke all of the stuff down to properly repair the tire. So I took the tire completely off, the old tube completely out. Well, somebody had already done that. There was nothing there, but I told them the one that they'd left there. I said, let's just say, took that out. Then there's the thing that protects it from the, I forget what they call it, but the sprocket screw into it. Keeps it from popping the tube. Explain all that to him. Explain to him what those were. And that's basically all the inside of a tire other than the different kind of valves, which he doesn't need to know. I mean, he can learn it, but what we get out here, he's really, if he's worrying about that, it's a stolen bike, and I've already explained to him about all that stuff. So, I'm sorry, I know I'm daylight's running low, and I'm forgetting, and it only makes it worse for me. So, okay. So, we were putting so now I get it down to nothing. And I start reassembling it, explaining to him what it's for and why I'm going through. And he keeps wanting to go back to that thing. And I said, we're not to it yet. I said, I thought we were past that. And he's like, well, I'm still worrying. And I said, you're worrying about something that we haven't even gotten to. I said, you don't walk up to a river that you've never seen and wonder how you're going to cross it. I said, let's get to the river first. And I said, when we get to the river, then we'll figure out how to cross it. He's like, oh, okay. So now we've got it down to only 3 things. Make sure, I mean, it's already there now. Just make sure that whatever the rubber protector thing is on, I called it a condom, so we'd understand it. I said, the tube, put that on, put the tire, showed him how to, you got to actually put the tube inside the tire is how I do it, but I don't care in what I told him. I said, this is how I do it your way. Showed him my way, showed him why I do it my way, which is because I put air in it so that it gets all of the kinks out of the tube itself. Then I deflate it down enough so that it's not going to move, but it's flexible. You can still get it. You'll try it if you want to, but you can still get it in on the rim, and it keeps it from binding and pinching. So anyway, I explained all that to him. Finished up that and blew it up. And then he's like, now? And I said, now you've got something done. I said, you're looking at me like you're the one proving something to me. I said, you finally got something done. I said, now you can come to me and say, what are we going to do? I said, That's called the step. Is you got to do that one before you get to the next one. I said, you're worrying about something that's 10 steps away. Stop. Go to the first thing that it takes to get it done. When you're done, go to the next. So we had these fights all day. I mean, all day, literally to the point where he walked away. He was gone for about 15 or so minutes. I'm thinking I said this already, so I won't say it again. Anyway, we got through the day, and we're back. We're dark enough now. I'm going to be cutting down here shortly. And I've said, like, I have a million things to talk about. I don't know that I'm ever going to find the time. I really don't, but I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to find the time because there's so much going on and I just don't have the time to get it out. Yeah. I just wish there was something else I could do. But anyway, I think I am going to say my good nights. This is perfect. It's 21 and a half minutes. So I'm going to say my good nights. Have a safe, happy, mostly happy, great life, and make somebody else smile. Just one person. And have a great night. Bye-bye.